In this video, we will cover basic controls and mechanics that are universal to all of the characters in Phantom Break or Omnia. You will need to master these basic gameplay techniques to defeat your opponents. Counter Burst. A ground counter burst gives the user a clash collision box and a guard point on their upper body, allowing them to parry an opponent's attack and retaliate immediately. You can also hold the button to extend the armored period. A perfectly timed counter burst against an opponent's normal attack will result in a reflection, which will temporarily render your opponent vulnerable. An air counter burst cannot be held, but it grants invulnerability against both non-projectile attacks and throws. Critical Burst. To activate Critical Burst, hold down Counter Burst until it charges to maximum while the tension gauge is full. After a brief darkening effect, a devastating, unblockable attack will be unleashed. Critical Burst can be activated regardless of your burst gauge capacity, but it will consume all of it. The damage inflicted by Critical Burst is dependent on the amount of burst gauge consumed. Counter Burst Cancel. In quick style only, execute a counter burst cancel by inputting a dash, high jump, or back step when you connect with a counter burst attack. Use this technique to quickly follow up on a successful counter burst to continue your attack, or create some space between you and your opponent. Throws. A throw is an offensive action that grabs and deals damage to an opponent who is guarding while in close quarters. A throw break will occur when a player who is being thrown inputs the throw command as or before their character flashes green. Overdrive. Overdrive can be activated by consuming all of your burst gauge that is charged to at least 100%. In quick style, Overdrive will trigger Clock Up, which increases the user's speed while decreasing the speed of their opponent. In hard style, Overdrive will trigger Solid Armor, a condition where the character no longer staggers even when hit by an opponent's attack. Emergency Mode. Use Emergency Mode when you are near death, being comboed, or to interrupt your opponent's momentum. If you have been struck by more than 2 hits from your opponent and have at least 100% burst gauge, you can escape out of a hit stun using Emergency Mode. However, this will consume all of your burst gauge and most of your vital chamber. Phantom Break. Phantom Break is a powerful attack that consumes 200% burst gauge. Due to its immense power, this move should be used as a last resort. Not only does Phantom Break differ from character to character, but they are also unique per style. All Range Attack. This is a powerful attack option unique to Omnia style. An all-range attack will consume your fully charged burst gauge to fire multiple projectiles that home in on an opponent. An all-range attack has invulnerability frames during the startup of the attack, making it useful for interrupting an opponent's offense. You can also take advantage of its high damage and incorporate it into a combo. Slip Shift. Slip Shift is a defensive technique exclusive to Quick and Omnia style, that allows you to evade an opponent's attack and potentially set you up for a counterattack. To execute a Slip Shift, tap the directional input towards your opponent at the moment their attack would otherwise hit you. If timed correctly, your character will flash red and your opponent will slow down for a brief moment. Protection. Protection is a defensive technique exclusive to hard style, that allows you to absorb an opponent's attack on the ground as well as in the air and can potentially set you up for a counterattack. To execute Protection, tap the directional input forward at the moment of your opponent's attack. Your character will flash blue and absorb the attack. You will recover faster than if you were to guard normally. Keep in mind that Protection will consume your guard durability slightly. Cancel. Many normal attacks can be cancelled into certain attacks at the latter half of their movement animation. For example, if you input a standing heavy attack then input a forward special attack in quick succession, the recovery frames of the standing heavy attack will immediately be cancelled into a special attack. Experiment with each of the character's moves to figure out which combinations work best. Guard Cancel. A guard cancel allows you to immediately execute an action during your guarding animation such as a counter burst, slip shift, enhanced special attack, or a phantom break. Quick and Omnia styles can also execute a guard cancel using a dash, back step, and high jump. Additionally, Omnia style can cancel using normal special attacks. This action also consumes your guard durability slightly. Air Recovery. An air recovery makes your character invulnerable for a moment, allowing you to evade follow-up attacks. To perform an air recovery, press any button before hitting the wall or ground after being struck up into the air by an opponent's attack. Keep in mind that you cannot perform this action during a critical hit, or during a wall slam. Mastery of these techniques and knowing what situations to use them in, will determine your success in the battles to come. Thanks for watching, and may the fire in your heart always burn.